Hi everyone. I actually recorded this video earlier and my mic wasn't working, so recorded like a 15-minute video and no volume. But anywho, this is me being imperfect and continuing to show up and not using my computer setup at home because it gave me too many excuses to not post. Didn't have perfect this, didn't have perfect timing. Also, today is Thursday. Normally I release on Thursday and I'm going to try to release it today. But this week has been crazy. It's been a good week, but I've just been tired. So I'm running some errands. I haven't had the energy, and so I'm not going to come to these videos exhausted. I'm not like, I got all this energy, because I'm more in a relaxed place. But nonetheless, my energy carries through my videos. So without further ado, this particular video, if I haven't lost your attention already, I apologize, is another video about the book I'm writing and about the character Rook. So Rook right now is in a place where she's taking over as leader. She's trying to unite. Obviously, she's already leading the newer people that have come in with her, and since then, any new recruits to the prison, to the rock quarry, because obviously they're fresh meat. They want to get out of there. They're trying to escape, trying to figure it out, like Rook was thinking at first. And then you have the old timers, the people that have been there forever, and they're like, shut up and keep your head down. Don't cause trouble. This is life. Make the best of it. So she's taken a position right now that was not being used. There's basically one of the old timers had this position in the rock quarry. And so she's basically taking it over, which is symbolic of her stepping in to take lead, new leadership, but also her symbolically connecting. She's bringing an energy of not let's get out of here, an energy of let's rebel. It's more an energy of we need to bide our time. We need to be intuitive. We need a time and place. We need to allow the time to be right. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for the time to be right, we can be working on ourselves, almost like in hermit mode, going inside, trying to figure out what our weaknesses are, trying to figure out, obviously right now if they revolt, so many of the people are either broken spirit, and they're trying to follow her now. She's trying to get that leadership. She has their respect through the deeds that she has done currently to show that she's earned the respect. But then also, she's having to not react. Rogue mode is rogue and thief. You're reacting to the environment. You're at the drop of a hat. You are completely reliant on your reaction to survive. So she's coming out of survival. She's coming out of reaction, and she's almost stoic. She's almost realizing that there's a time and a place that we have to be ready. And she's embodying these so that she can set the example so that the prisoners around her can understand it's a time and a place kind of thing. It's not a attack. So if they attack right now, they're going to lose. And if they do win and overthrow the guards, they're going to lose a lot of lives. So they have to be smart about this. They have to learn to be in the environment, but not be of the environment. They have to learn to not react, but to take aligned action, to sit in waiting. If a tiger or a leopard or any type of these hunter cats or animals, if they just go and attack everything, they're going to starve to death. They have to wait, and they have to watch, and they have to bide their time. So she's learning this, she's expressing this, and she's bringing this leadership to the people around her. And in life, we are all becoming, we're all raising our voices, we're all learning to be comfortable with ourselves, to not be afraid of ourselves. And in the previous video that didn't have voice, basically I was talking about how we are the new leaders of the new world. We're not going to take over this world by bashing and fighting corruption. Instead, we build our own. We have to be the example. The new money paradigms that are coming in, we have to be the example. That money is now ready to go to those that are going to do the best with it. And that doesn't mean go out and fight hunger and fight poverty. That is a great thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't fight poverty, in my opinion. You don't fight poverty and hunger by just feeding somebody that day, because then they become dependent upon you. You know? Instead, you have to empower yourself and lead by example while also helping others. Give to yourself. Live a fulfilled life. A life full of power, self-love, and abundance. Live that life. Be that example, you know? But then also help, of course. But you're going to do better. You're going to teach more people by leading and by showing them the way, showing them what's possible. Not everybody, you know, but those that are drawn to you are going to have their life changed because of you. You know, you don't want to lead. You don't want all the money in the world. You know, you don't want to love yourself beyond everybody else, because you might become arrogant. You might become powerful and squash others. You know, you might become self-absorbed and not care about others anymore. But the thing of it is because of that, you know, you're learning now to grow past that. You're learning that that was just another mechanism to keep you down. That the reality is you have to love yourself. You have to give yourself love first. You have to give yourself abundance first. You have to give yourself power first. Take that power. Unleash that power of yourself. Don't take power from others, but get it from yourself. You are the well. You are the source. Stop giving it away to everybody else because you're afraid to have it. You have to empower yourself. You have to grab your own. You have to embody it, use it, spread it, show others how to do the same for themselves, and also, of course, help others. You know, if you're strong and powerful, if you can help somebody, you're going to help them because that's in your nature. If you're taller than someone, they're reaching for that can on the shelf, you're going to reach up there and grab it for them. You know, but you're not going to walk around the store looking for people to help and handing them the can and handing them the can, and you stay there and say it's a 24-hour store. You're going to stay there 3 days straight. You're not going to sleep. You're not going to eat. You're not going to do anything. No. You have to take care of yourself first and then help others. Lead by example. That's the greatest leaders. Those that lead because they have to. Not because they have to, but because somebody has to and they're the best candidate. There's nobody else better to do it, so they do it. You know? And it's not just leadership, it's abundance. There's so many others out there misusing the tool of money. You won't misuse that tool. You know, and if you do start to misuse that tool and you spend way more on yourself and you become, you know, too much, you become too arrogant, you become too self-fulfilled, you're going to realize it. You're never going to get there. You know, and if you do, don't beat yourself up over it. You learn from it. You know, and then you've learned that mistake, the next one will be different. The next time will be different. And you're going to teach others. You're going to show them. You know, you having that is not you going out of control. It's you learning to control. It's you course correcting and then showing others and spreading that knowledge of the how-tos and the how-not-tos. You must stand up. You know, this is hard for me. It's easy to record, but it's easier to make excuses. You know, today's Thursday. I should have recorded this weekend, but I didn't. I gave myself time and space. I should have recorded Monday or Tuesday. I tried to record and have it in there by Tuesday so the algorithm can pick it up, so that it can spread it out. But the fact of the matter is, I just need to put it out once a week, no matter what. I need to put out a video. I need to put this information down. I need to put this energy out there. And I don't care if 100 people watch it, 1,000 people, 10,000. I mean, I care a little bit, obviously. I'm only human. In this existence, I'm embodying this human body for the experience of it. But I'm trying my best to focus on the fact that I am planting seeds. This video will always be here as long as YouTube is here. If anybody gets on the channel and then starts watching videos, if I have 1,000 videos, 10,000 videos, these videos are here for a reason. You know, when I believe that when we connect to something, if you connect to this video 10 years from now, and I may not even be here in 10 years, who knows what happens. But either way, when you connect to this video, at that point, time doesn't matter because we're all connecting to it. We all have that connection. In that moment, we're connecting to the energy of it. It stands alone by itself. So I'm planting seeds. I'm putting these videos out. This is like the 6th one. I gave myself excuses last November. I trickled some here and there and I fell off. And my channel pretty well kind of died. And obviously it wasn't big back then. It was still growing, and it's not big right now. It's still growing. But this is me putting myself out there. This is me being authentic to help others. But I'm helping others through helping myself. I'm spreading lessons. And also, to this particular video is themed off of the book because it gives me direction. So I'm not just getting on here and blabbing and talking what feels right. You know, it's actually at least coming off from a lesson I'm learning from the book. Because this book, as I'm writing it, I'm being intuitive. I'm writing what I feels right. When I feel like stopping, I stop. When the chapter is done, it's done. Because I'm going to come back. I'm only writing like 1,500 words per chapter, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's my goal. I wrote one chapter. The second chapter was like 500 words, 400 words. I don't remember. But I'm going to go back. I'm basically drawing the picture. I'm drawing it out in pencil right now. I'm completing the story. And if I sit here and I make one page, one chapter, and I write it and write it and write it and write it until it's perfect for a year, that's a perfectionist in me coming out. I don't want that. I want to write it until completion, and then I can go back and then I can paint it. And then after I go back and paint everything and I filled in more words, then I'll go back another time or two and I'll fill in more words. I'll add background, more scenery. I'll realize, okay, this person hasn't shown up enough, or this person is no longer in the story, but at this point in time when I'm going back over it, they have some more to say. I'm trying to be intuitive, and if I get stuck and nothing else is coming, but it doesn't feel quite complete, then I ask myself, what would Rook do in this situation? I put myself in her shoes. So all of this is very intuitive, and it's amazing, and I'm learning so much about myself, about the writing process. I've never wrote before. I've wrote, inside of cards to family members. That's about it. But it's been lovely what I wrote. And I love words, and I love storytelling. I love talking. In the past, I have a wound where basically I talked to the point of boring people, and I shut myself down out of fear. And so now I'm learning to talk more, but then to have my words mean more, to carry more weight. I'm more in a position to where my words aren't just one-dimensional paint on a painting. I'm just swinging a brush around with no cares. There's actually energy behind it. There's thought behind it. There's wisdom behind some of it. I've went back and watched some of my videos, and it's a little cringe to watch my own videos, but I've went back and watched some of my videos, and I'm like, if this wasn't me listening to me, I would actually listen to this. There is wisdom in here, and I'm actually, this is actually worthy to listen to right now too. It's applicable to right now. So that's really cool. And that's not coming from an egotistical place. That's coming from a place of empowerment, a place of standing on my own, stepping into my own shadow. And I know actually I can feel my energy right now. In previous videos, it's funny because when I talk about things, I talk. And if I get really passionate, I go on. But when I watch my other videos, I'm more calm. And I'm like, how is that me? How is that, as part of it's channeling the energy, if nothing else. But a lot of it is also the fact that in those videos, I'm more calm and I'm tapping into something. In this video, I don't know why I'm so energetic. I like it because I want to have energetic videos. I want to inspire. I want to put the energy out. I want to unload the energy from my heart chakra. I just want to put it out there. I want you to tap into it. I want you to feel great afterwards, to learn something, to feel something. And even if my words are things you've heard before in different ways, or even things you've heard in the same ways, I just want you, my goal is for you to come away from this with inspiration or a thought that maybe I fall into the background of what you're doing, but then a thought pops in your head. That's all that I want. I want to inspire change. I want to inspire people to fall in love with themselves. And from that place of love, know that you can love yourself and you won't become arrogant. You're growing towards being a beacon of light. I want you to invest in yourself, the time, the energy. I want you to love yourself. I want you to empower yourself and take that power and make a better world. Make a better life for yourself. And then it just ripples out. I want you to... Abundance is very important and it's a tool, but I talk about it because it's a part of life. And I want you to be abundant. But I don't want that to be the main thing. Abundance should be a byproduct of what you're already doing. It's a tool you're using and that's flowing through you. It's an energy. But The other third thing that I really love to work on is self-compassion. Is when you make mistakes, don't beat yourself up over it. You give compassion so freely to others. You give your love away to others. You give your power away to others. Bring that back to you. Fill yourself up. Be the parent that you didn't get. Be the influence that you didn't get growing up. Not that people did wrong, because people do their best. And also you learn from that. You grow from that. You heal from that. But I just want you to take these things and give it to yourself first, so that you come from a place of fulfillment for others, so you're not lacking. Because if you're lacking and you go to somebody else that's lacking energy, you're going to absorb theirs, or you're going to spread the lack. But if you come from a place of fulfillment, you're going to spill it over, and they'll take from that, and they'll take the lesson of being fulfilled. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm at like 15 minutes now, and I'm on my phone, and it's always like, hey, you're running out of space, because it records in high def. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to go. Love you guys. Comments below. Ask questions. Interact. Like, subscribe, share. If this video has helped you at all, I thank you very much. I appreciate your time. You're paying attention to me, and I'm paying attention to you, your energy, your love, and I'm giving you love. So just get out there and be yourself, give to yourself, and overflow to others. Thank you guys. Love you guys. I'll see you next week.